Right outside the Fort Mason Center, I've gathered two of these really stellar entrepreneurs who have gathered at this conference today to tell us a little bit about what the heck they're doing and why, and is there a chance that this could be a new economic model that just might work. I'm very excited to have with us here Anne Weiser and Elizabeth Lindsay. Elizabeth's an explorer, and Anne, she made the landmark, the very notable bags that have been in much profusion at this conference and very visible, and they're kind of interesting products themselves. These bags, each one of them, it's been given out to a participant here today. They say handmade in Indonesia from waste, supporting trash pickers.
Yes.
How does this bag support a trash picker? And just remind people who the trash pickers are.
Okay. In Indonesia and Southeast Asia and many, many countries around the world, we have these gigantic populations of trash pickers. They're an informal sector, and basically they're invisible people. They're undocumented, they're under the radar, they've fallen right through the floorboards. They have no social protection. They're largely migrant and they're living off the droppings of consumer society.
Let me turn to you, Elizabeth. You're doing an interesting project in collaboration with National Geographic magazine. You're an explorer, and PBS.
Yeah, and it's more than National Geographic magazine. It's their entire organization. So we're looking at publishing television, magazine, and going around the world conserving vanishing traditions.
In particular, you've been focusing on vanishing indigenous populations.
Right.
Talk about who you've met.
Well, I went on expedition to a very remote island called Satawal that most people have never heard of. And it's out in the southern part of Micronesia. And it basically is a tiny island that is under great threat because of climate change and rising tides. And these are people that are being affected by our consumptive behavior that we will never know of. They live on an island that's half a mile wide by 1 mile long, and the rising tides are eroding their entire south shore, and their food sources dwindling at such a dramatic rate because of brackish water and because of climate change. Well, going to this island and going to record these traditions that had not been recorded before, and then seeing the faces of children who don't know what climate change means, they don't know what rising tides mean. What they do know is that their shores are being washed away, that they don't have enough food soon to eat. And so bringing this footage back to the United Nations and being able to talk about climate refugees in the world really tells a human story about what's going on, so that people can begin to understand that even though this is taking place on islands that are far away, our consumptive behavior is affecting these societies.
That connects the two of you in the sense that you're telling a story as much as you're selling a product.
Absolutely. The product is the end result. The stories are the important content.
You refer to the, well, Eduardo Galeano refers to the invisibles. You refer to the invisibles too. Absolutely. And the invisible labor. How does this, buying this nice bag in a store, tell me a story?
Spread awareness. It's raising awareness. The world works on exchange, like it or not, and I felt that I could do a much broader storytelling if I also worked in the commodity of exchange. And I went from an art career of the rarefied art object that no one really buys and few people go into culture venues, and I thought, I'm not doing it. This isn't doing it. It's the wrong voice. It's the wrong audience. I have to go into the marketplace.
Is that a rarefied art object around your neck?
Yes, it's made of the droppings, the runoff from a plastics factory, the junk that falls on the floor. This right here is about 200 plastic bags worth. And this is e-waste. These are the wires from computers that are coated in plastic and have copper inside.
And it's beautiful too.
Thank you. Well, this is the reason why her people are disappearing.
Now, this is an interesting juncture to ask you about social capital. Because there are a lot of people that would say, well, why not just start a nonprofit? You can give these people a grant to produce those products. You could give these folks a grant to, I don't know, publicize their story. Why not go the grant route?
My work is a nonprofit now. I have a nonprofit in Indonesia. I started it 6 years ago.
This is the door to this place.
So let me start at my work.
Okay. My work is a nonprofit. Access Project is a nonprofit foundation. and I was very protective of that because my focus is on the R&D, the development, and I didn't really want investors telling me to make more of those pencil cases because I wanted design. I wanted the freedom. But now I see that we're in an environment where people are open to taking risky ideas and helping them grow because the storytelling is so necessary.
And is that better or worse for the trash pickers you work with?
Absolutely better. I can scale up because as a nonprofit I can't do anything. I've been doing the same, you know, hamster in a little cage for many, many years, and I'm very stubborn and relentless. And recently
Okay, I'm so sorry. That was
It's
exactly
okay.
what we want to do. What is it better or worse? We've been inside in this little breezeway in here up against the trash cans,
Yeah.
and it was quiet, but it looked like
Yeah.
shit.
Tried to catch him.
You did a valiant try. We need some runners.
Short of diving.
This is such a beautiful, perfect place to
Isn't
be
it
doing
great?
this. But
I love it.
we need to.
It's very
Um,
cool.
We need to seal it, sound seal it.
Yeah.
And this is all reused. These are
Yeah,
car fenders.
yeah.
That's great.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah, this
And the
is
siren.
Yeah, this is one of the downsides of sitting outside. Thanks for the invitation.
But you're absolutely telling the story which we need, which is why it's better for them.
Yeah.
Because that's the essence of this whole thing.
Yes.
You go scare people, would you, please? Thank you.
Yeah, go tell people how to stop happening.
You can be the husher.
I was tempted to just start funneling traffic this way, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's taxi.
Detour.
Ruth is one of our producers who just came in from Honolulu for this.
Yeah, he's good.
Are you good at the camera position while we're stopped?
Everything's all right?
Still low.
And are you getting me okay,
Yeah.
face-wise? Or do you need to be...
Well, when you ask the questions, you can cheat out just a little bit
Okay.
more. When you're listening, they're okay.
Okay.
So we can go ahead. Did you want to ask the question again?
Yeah, sure.